Hi there, in this video we'll talk about string in Python, and before we do the actual coding, I want to give you guys an introduction about strings as well. So what is a string? Now string is a data type in Python, and it is that data type which is used to represent textual data, okay? String is a data type and it is for textual data, text-based data. Let's take a look at what a text-based data looks like. So for example, if you have something like this, it says I like traveling and then this dot. Now this is text, and if you want to represent this in Python, you need to add quotation marks around it, and now this is what we call a string. Another example could be this: he is 20 years old and then a dot. So this is again text, you add quotation marks around it, and now it is a string in Python. Alright, I opened the idle shell, and here let's create a string. So add double quotes here like this, and then let's write I like cooking, and now this right here is a string. I hit enter and it works. There are no errors, so we are good. Now it's not like you have to add double quotes to create a string. You can only write single quote as well. For example, single quotes, and then I like he likes working, hit enter, and now this right here is another string. Okay, now here's something interesting for you. Suppose I add quotation marks and inside I write 10. Now the question here is that is this a string or this is an integer? I mean, 10 is an integer. It's a number, it does not have a decimal point, so it looks like an integer. Now the thing is that this whole thing is considered a string, okay? It is a string, it is not an integer. Whenever you have quotation marks, it does not even matter what you have inside, okay? As long as there are quotation marks, it will be considered a string in Python. And when you're creating a string, it's not like you can only put alphabets and numbers inside the quotation marks. You can put any character that you can imagine inside a string. For example, some alphabets, all of these symbols. You can put anything that you can imagine inside the quotes. Okay, so all of these are strings in Python. Now there is one scenario where you have to be a little careful. For example, if I come in here and I write he sad colon space I am busy. Okay, so now I created this string, and if I hit enter, I get this syntax error, invalid syntax. Now why am I getting an error? I mean, it seems like I added double quotes and I put some text inside, so what's wrong here? Now the problem is, if you're using double quotes to create a string, then you cannot use double quotes on the inside of the string, okay? So now this quotation mark and this quotation mark are causing the issue at the moment, okay? Now, to fix this, what you can do is, in idle, if you click here and then hit enter, it's gonna put that code right here so that you can change it. Now, if I come in here and I identify all the quotes which are causing the problem, so in this case, it is this one and this one. Now I have to change them to single quotes, okay? If they are double on the outside, you have to use single on the inside, like this. Now if I hit enter, I do not get an error now, and it works, okay? The same problem can happen if you're using single quotes on the outside and inside. For example, this time I'm using single quotes, okay? Previously they were double quotes, now they are single. And inside I'm gonna write he sad colon and then quotes again, I am busy. Now hit enter, and again we get the same syntax error, invalid syntax. The problem is if you're using single quotes to create a string, then you cannot use single quotes on the inside of the string. So now this single quote and this single quote is causing the problem here. So to fix that, click here, hit enter, and then we will change this quote and this quote to double quotes like this. Okay, so now it is single on the outside and everywhere in the inside we are using double quotes. So now they are different and it should work. Hit enter and it works, which is good. Now there is still a way where you can use same quotes on the outside and on the inside, you know. If I run this, I will get an error like this. Now one way to fix that is you go inside the string, find out all those quotes which are causing the problem. In this case, we have this one and this one causing the issue. You will go before each one and add this backslash. And if I hit enter, it works. Okay, when you hit enter, you don't see the backslash. Okay, that backslash is what we call an escape character. Okay, escape character. This backslash is escape character when you use it inside a string. So in this line, this backslash is telling it to ignore the double quotes here. Okay, if you don't add the backslash, you get an error. So in this scenario, to fix that problem, you have to add backslash, meaning escape character, before these two. And the same can be done here as well. Now before each, you have to add a backslash, meaning escape character, like this. Hit enter and it works. Okay,